Jai Sai Ram, Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 14, Part 2. Then after taking Baba's leave, Ratanji returned to Nanded and told Das Ganu everything that took place at Shirdi. He said that everything went on well there, that he got Baba's darshan and blessings with prasad. But there was one thing which he could not understand. Baba said to him that he had got 3 rupees and 14 annas before. Please explain as to what Baba meant by this remark. He said to Das Ganu, I never went to Shirdi before, and how could I give him the sum to which Baba referred? To Das Ganu also it was a puzzle, and he pondered much over it and for a long time. Sometime after it struck to him that Ratanji had received some days ago a Mohammedan saint by name Mauli Sahib in his house and had spent some money for his reception. This Mauli Sahib was a coolie saint well known to the people of Nanded. When Ratanji decided to go to Shirdi, this Mauli Sahib accidentally came to Ratanji's house. Ratanji knew him and loved him, so he gave him a small party in his honor. Das Ganu got from Ratanji the yadi or memo of expenses for this reception, and everybody was wonderstruck to see that the expenses amounted to exactly 3 rupees and 14 annas, nothing more, nothing less. They all came to know that Baba was omniscient, that though he lived in Shirdi, he knew all that happened outside far away from Shirdi. In fact, he knew the past, present and future and could identify himself heart and soul with anybody in this particular instance. How could he knew the reception given to Mauli Sahib and the amount spent therefore, unless he could identify himself with him and be one with him. Ratanji was satisfied with this explanation, and his faith in Baba was confirmed and increased. In due time afterwards, he was blessed with a son, and his joy knew no bounds. It is said that he had in all a dozen issues, out of which only 4 survived. In a footnote towards at the end of the chapter, it is stated that Baba told Rao Bahadur Hari Vinayak Sathe after the death of his first wife to remarry, and that he would get a son. R.B. Sathe married second time. The first 2 issues by his wife were daughters, and he therefore felt very despondent. But the 3rd issue was a son. Baba's word did turn out true, and he was satisfied. Dakshina Mimamsa. Now, we shall close this chapter with a few remarks about Dakshina. It's a well-known fact that Baba always asked for Dakshina from people who wanted to see him. Somebody may ask a question. If Baba was a fakir and perfectly non-attached, why should he ask for Dakshina and care for money? We shall consider this question broadly now. First, for a long time, Baba did not accept anything. He stored burnt matches and filled his pocket with them. He never asked anything from anybody, whether he be a devotee or otherwise. If anybody placed before him a piece or 2, a paise or 2, he purchased oil or tobacco. He was fond of tobacco, for he always smoked a beedi or chillum. Then some persons thought that they could not see the saints empty-handed, and they therefore placed some copper coins before Baba. If a paise was placed before him, he used to pocket it. If it was a 2 paise coin, it was returned immediately. Then after Baba's fame had spread far and wide, people began to flock in numbers, and Baba began to ask Dakshina from them. It is said in this Shruti, that's Veda, that puja of the gods is not complete unless a gold coin was offered. If a coin was necessary in the puja of the gods, why should it not be so in the puja of the saints also? Ultimately, the Shastra laid it down that when one goes to see God, king, saint or guru, he should not go empty-handed. He should offer something, preferably coin or money. In this connection, we may notice the precepts recommended by the Upanishad. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that Lord Prajapati advised the gods, men and demons by one letter. The gods understood by this letter that they should practice Dhamma, self-control. The men thought or understood that they should practice Dana, charity. The demons understood that they should practice Daya, compassion. To men, charity or giving was recommended. The teacher in the Taittiriya Upanishad exhorts his pupils to practice charity and other virtues. Regarding charity, he says, give with faith, give with magnanimity, liberally, give with modesty, with awe and with sympathy, in order to teach the devotees the lesson of charity and to remove their attachment to money and thus to purify their minds. Baba extracted dakshina from them, but there was this peculiarity, as Baba said, that he had to give back 100 times more of what he received. There are many instances in which this has happened. To quote an instance, Mr. Ganpatrao Bodas, the famous actor, says in his Marathi autobiography that on Baba's pressing him often and often for dakshina, he emptied his money bag before him. The result of this was, as Mr. Boda says, that in the later life he never lacked for money, as it came to him abundantly. There were also secondary meanings of dakshina in many cases in which Baba did not want any pecuniary amount. To quote two instances, one, Baba asked rupees 15 as dakshina from Professor G.J. Narke, who replied that he did not have even a pie. Then Baba said, I know you don't have money, but you are reading Yoga Vasishta. Give me dakshina from that. Giving dakshina in this case meant deriving lessons from the book and lodging them in the heart where Baba resides. In the second case, Baba asked a certain lady, Mrs. R.A. Tharkad, to give rupees 6 as dakshina. The lady felt pained as she had no money to give. Then her husband explained to her that Baba wanted 6 inner enemies, lust, anger, avarice, etc., to be surrendered to him. Baba agreed with this explanation. Jai Sai Ram.